September 17th, 2013, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Peter Glidden coming at you live and in living color if you're watching the live video feed on my website, fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com. When will the madness end? According to the Wall Street Journal, page A3, over 2 million people in the U.S. each year develop antibiotic-resistant infections, and 23,000 a year die as a result. 23,000 people a year die as a result of stupidity on the behalf of the MDs, and nobody goes to jail, nobody gets a hand slap, and we all just kind of march in zombie lockstep, genuflecting at the altar of this Machiavellian medical monopolistic incompetence without so much as an eyelash twitch. For goodness sake. And then when you hear them pitch the reason for the trouble to you on the CBS Evening News, the ABC Evening News, whatever evening news you watch, it's all the same mantra. The problem is supposed to be the indiscriminate use of antibiotics by doctors. Well, how the heck does that work? I mean, what's the pathophysiology behind that? So let me see. I have an infection, and I'm given a broad-spectrum antibiotic. And the broad-spectrum antibiotic doesn't kill the bacteria that are in my body. So how is it that they develop resistance to it if it doesn't kill them? And then what happens, and what doesn't make sense to me that should happen? It just doesn't make sense to me. The reason that this is happening is not because of indiscriminate use of antibiotics. It's not because of doctors giving the wrong antibiotic for the wrong infection. It's because it's a normal side effect of antibiotic use. Again, they're spinning it in such a way to make you think that antibiotics are, the next best thing to, well, antibiotics. I mean, after penicillin was invented, this was the rise of the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry was built on the foundation of penicillin. It was the grandfather of all drugs. It was the drug to end all drugs. It was, in fact, the drug that revolutionized the practice of medicine in the modern world. And so the last thing the medical industry is going to tell you is that their foundation drug doesn't work or is ineffective or is loaded with side effects or is, dangerous. They're not going to say that, even though that is in fact the case. That is in fact the case. This is not due to indiscriminate use of antibiotics. It's not due to stupidity on the doctor's part. How about that? I'm defending doctors. It's a normal side effect of the drug. It comes along for the deal, for the ride. It's part of the deal, comes along for the ride, but they're never going to tell you this. They're never going to admit to it. Meanwhile, yesterday, 12 people are killed in a psychotic rampage on a Navy yard. And the person who did it, whatever the guy's name was under the care of VA doctors. Well, how good does that make you feel? What does that mean? That means that the medical treatment that the VA doctors were handing out did not work. It did not work. The medical care that they delivered did not work. It was completely ineffective. My colleague, mentor, and friend, Dr. Joel Wallach, founder of Longevity, a colonel in the United States Air Force, said that there are two ways you can give your life for your country, one on the battlefield and one at the VA. The billion-pound gorilla that everybody is overlooking is the sad fact, the startling fact, the gigantic fact that MD-directed medical treatment for chronic diseases doesn't work. It doesn't work. That's why there are these kids at school who go on rampage and shoot all their classmates. That's why there are adults who go on rampages and shoot all their classmates, even when they're under the care of psychiatrists, because psychiatric medicine, conventional American medicine, does not work for chronic disease. And now, because of all the new designer antibiotics and because of the backwards way that medical professionals look at the human body, because of the Newtonian physics, a mastermind built-in a priori filter that they view everything that they do through, we are suffering side effects. The 25,000 people a year are killed. Well, Granny's gone. Dad's gone, Mom's gone, brother's gone, sister's gone. Where'd they go? They went the way of the dodo bird. Actually, they didn't go the way of the dodo bird. They went the way of Marie Antoinette. They were killed. They were killed by bad medicine. Bad medicine, bad dog, no biscuit. And what do? We get all nervous and all excited because the federal budget now can't handle the burden of health care. And so rather than change health care, rather than change the health care model, rather tell the pharmaceutical industry to go pound sand, rather than tell the doctors that, they're going to be reprimanded unless they can figure out how to start curing things, we just give them more money and make it mandatory for every United States citizens now to gain access to them. You got to have medical insurance now. Obamacare, got to have it. It's mandatory now that you buy medical insurance to give you access to the leading cause of death in the United States, the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, and completely ineffective medicine, under whose care you are likely to shoot up a Navy Yard, under whose care you are likely to shoot up a school, under whose care you are likely to suffer side effects and die. Meanwhile, nothing's cured. This is my mantra. I'm going to repeat it, once a week until I'm dead. Medical doctors do not know what's best for you. They only know what they've been trained in, and what they've been trained in is one small piece of the pie of medical science. Furthermore, medical doctors are not trained to cure anything. They can't even cure heartburn. And to the profession that does not even know how to cure heartburn, we have given nearly $1 trillion to come up with a cure for cancer. You've got to be kidding me. Consider me the red pill, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to snap out of the matrix. It's time to wake up. It's time to take your health into your own hands, perhaps for the first time in your life. How are you going to do that? By applying science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition formulations. By becoming a Dr. Glidden insider, by signing up for my online health recovery subscription service. As part of that subscription service, I'm doing a Q&A tomorrow evening, Wednesday. It's a live Q&A tomorrow night. And Thursday, we're doing a live webinar on balancing hormones. Balance your hormones naturally. Now, how the MDs want you to balance your hormones? By taking man-made synthetic hormones into your body. I'm going to tell you a completely different way, the real way, an effective way. You want to believe the MDs? Go ahead. Like Dr. Phil said, how's that working for you? Become a Dr. Glidden insider. Come along for the ride. Learn from me. Let me teach you the easy methods of healing as delivered through the agency of Youngevity. And speaking about Youngevity, we have news, ladies and gentlemen. News is good, right? News is good. We like news. Fact of the matter is that according to the Wall Street Journal, page B1, the Christmas season this year is predicted to be the worst in 4 years. Retailers are bracing for the impact. Meanwhile, Youngevity had the best year ever. It's growing, and we're anticipating the best holiday season in 16 years. And here to talk to us about this unbelievable discrepancy in economics in the United States, my friend and Vice President of Leadership Development in the Youngevity Company, Mr. Mike Randolph. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming aboard. You are live.
It's amazing when you look at what's going on in corporate America right now, and then you look at what's going on in Youngevity right now. They seem to be the opposite. And I guess as long as they stay opposites, I want corporate America to have a bad holiday season, and I want Youngevity to have the greatest of great holiday seasons. I mean, we are accelerating right now. We are not slowing down. People are buying in. We're not selling them. People are buying in to what we have to offer, which is really a better way to handle your health, and it's a better way to build wealth. And thanks to you and thanks to Dr. Wallach, the message is getting out there, and boy, we are not looking down at our shoes. We are looking up at the sky, and the sky certainly is not even the limit.
Well, like the fellow said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and this is what drives the entire Youngevity company forward. It's results, 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 and results. And not only do we get results in the area of health, we also get results in the area of wealth, and the company's growing. It's a publicly traded company now that you can buy stock in Youngevity. The company boasts profits every month in crazy economies like this. Last year they grew 300%. This year, I'm assuming the growth is keeping a pace of what it was last year. And we're predicting the best Christmas season ever. I mean, ever. in the history of the company, while the rest of the company is, rumbling around in the shallows, snagged on the shallows or adrift without a rudder and without an oar and with a dead engine. Youngevity motors on. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no better time than right now to become a Youngevity member. There is no better time than right now. You better get in while the getting's good. If you put your ear to the railroad tracks, you can hear a rumble in the distance, and that rumble in the distance is the Youngevity engine. It's coming for you, ladies and gentlemen. You better get on board that train, because that train actually offers you in real time pragmatic health recovery assistance based on $25 million of federally funded research, 30 years of clinical experience by the most lauded naturopathic physician in the world, Dr. Joel Wallach, and an economic recovery package, an economic salvage package, an economic get your life back package, an economic, guess what, you can own your own car package, an economic, guess what, you can finally pay off your mortgage package, an economic, guess what, you don't have to work for the man anymore package, an economic, guess what, you can make your own hours package. You can work as long as you want. You can work as little as you want. By the way, who's going to die when it's time for you to die? Is it going to be your boss? Is it going to be your manager? Is it going to be your accountant? Is it going to be your banker? No, it's going to be you lying in the grave 6 feet under, while the caretaker throws dirt on the coffin and then snuffs out a cigarette on top. Life is for the living. It's right now, ladies and gentlemen. Grab the bull by the horns. Get on board the Youngevity train. What on earth are you waiting for? FireYourMDNow.com. Check it out. FireYourMDNow.com. FireYourMDNow.com, and click on the Join Youngevity button, and then click on the Become a Dr. Glidden Insider button, and let's march into the beautiful, bright future of health and wealth together. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Don't even think about touching that dial. We're kicking it up a notch today with Mike Randolph. Back after these messages. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your friendly neighborhood naturopath, speaking today with Mike Randolph. Let me cue up Mike's video here. Hold on. Bada bing, there we are. All right, so look, naturopathic medicine has a couple of tenets. The first tenet is your MD's an idiot. The second tenet is your body knows how to fix itself. Your body wants to fix itself. Your body has a built-in God-given ability to fix itself. The third tenet is, when in doubt, fix the liver. And the fourth tenet is, most illness is rooted in disturbances of the digestive tract. So when all else fails, we give support and promotion to the structure and function of the human digestive tract. And because Youngevity is always on the cutting edge, because Youngevity is always developing new products, because Youngevity is not resting on its laurels, because Youngevity is actually involved in the practice of medicine, which very few MDs in the world are now. Most chiropractors are involved in the practice of medicine. They're refining their therapeutics all the time. Acupuncturists, homeopaths, naturopaths, but not MDs. MDs toe the party line, and that's why all this antibiotic nonsense is toppling down on them. Their therapeutics are a house of cards, and we are suffering malignantly because of it. But I digress. All health begins in the gut, and so one of the best ways to support and promote the health of the gut is with Youngevity's brand new product, Root Beer Belly. It's probiotic that's enterically coated. It means it's the beneficial bacteria that your digestive tract needs in order to digest the stuff that you've just eaten, and also to support and promote your immune system and your hormones and a whole bunch of other things. And Youngevity has that product now in a little enteric-coated capsule, which means the chances of it surviving the ride through your stomach acid increase exponentially. This is Youngevity to the rescue, and to tell us about the promotion that Youngevity is doing now with Root Beer Belly, back with us live, Mike Randolph.
How's it going, Doc? You know what? It's funny that you mentioned this, because right here on my desk is my little box of Root Beer Belly. What an ingenious little dispenser. The little flap opens up, and you pull out this little package. And when we first came out with this product, I thought it was like Halloween candy or something, because it's just these little sprinkles inside this package, and you tear it open just like that, and you just pour it on your tongue like that, swish it around in your mouth, and swallow it. It tastes just like root beer. Now, I know that people are eating, I don't know, I guess 55-gallon drums of yogurt trying to get the same benefit. I know there's TV commercials all over the place. All I can tell you is this. One of these a day, and I don't get into the science too deeply, but one of these a day, I don't have any issues. We'll just leave it at that. We won't describe issues, but I can just tell you I don't have any issues. And this is a product that my son doesn't mind taking. This is a product that people love. It's like a treat. Every morning, I just take a little root beer belly, and we've launched the Healthy Body Challenge with the root beer belly product. And people are finding out that you cannot purchase and consume enough yogurt or enough goopy stuff or whatever the heck else is out there that people are trying to utilize to get their digestive system in balance. You cannot consume enough of that stuff to have the impact that one little package of this stuff has every single day. And, I mean, the calories are, there's 4 calories. I don't know how many calories are in one of those yogurt things, but it's probably a little more than 4. There's 5 billion proprietary probiotic blend, blah, blah. You can explain what that is. There's 5 billion something in there, and I know it's all good, and I know it helps me. And you know what? Take the challenge. We've got hundreds of people sending in testimonials. It doesn't take long for this stuff to have an impact. It doesn't take long for you to start feeling better. It doesn't take long for the other nutrients to start making it into your body once you get things in balance. And I'll leave some of that technical detail to you, but what makes this product so much better than what people are using out there to try to get good, healthy bacteria in their system?
Well, what makes it better is the recipe and Dr. Wallach's research and the foundation mission of Youngevity, which is to bring to the table and deliver to the suffering masses of human beings that are in the world that have been suffering because they've been completely let down by the methodology of the MD, the cutting edge of medical nutrition in the world, the cutting edge of medical nutrition in the world. Who was it that started talking about probiotics years ago? It was the naturopaths. Then Activia picked up on it, and now all of a sudden, and then Dr. Oz, and then probiotics are everywhere. But it was us that started the ball running, and guess what? It's going to be us that keeps the ball rolling, but we're not just going to keep the ball rolling. We're going to put an engine inside the ball, and we're going to shoot it down the road. The root beer belly, ladies and gentlemen, eclipses any probiotic on the market. The proof. If you want to get away, ladies and gentlemen, gotta love Lenny Kravitz. Yeah, well, guess what? You don't have to get away anymore because you can stay put where you are and get strong and rich, or, you know, even just a couple of $100 a month. You want to make a couple of $100 a month, a couple of $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month. What do you want? It's here for you. The company has currently made over 250 multi-million-dollar earners, 250 people just like you, who have made millions of dollars lifting their friends and family members and church members and community members up into the wonderful world of health. And, you know, like I always say, that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. So, Mike Randolph, what do we have to look forward to besides just, you know, growth and then more growth moving forward here?
Well, you know, we talked about the Root Beer Belly. We talked about the Root Beer Belly Challenge, 30 packets, 30 days, 30 featured testimonials. But we also launched a revised Rebound product. I know that you know Theo Ratliff. You know the story behind Rebound sports drink. Well, originally that drink was designed to be in a can. People, for some reason, they love canned drinks, and the technology has finally caught up with the desire, and we have Rebound in a can. It is available for those that want it. I think it tastes absolutely fantastic, especially when you realize that it has the mineral content that athletes need, that active people need, that our kids need to replace what we're sweating out. It's absolutely amazing to me, and I learned this from Dr. Wallach. You know, when we sweat, especially the more active we are, when we sweat, we don't just sweat out water and sugar. We sweat out those 90 essential nutrients, and you've got to get that stuff back in your body. or there's going to be problems. Well, get yourself some Rebound, either the powdered mix or Rebound in a can, that's one step closer to recovery from all that work. It amazes me how many healthy people, or at least purportedly healthy people, just drop dead running, drop dead working out, drop dead on the basketball court because there is this fundamental disconnect. You talk about it all the time between what we think we know and what reality actually is. And this call today has been kind of a reality check and a reality break. It's funny, you quoted some headlines from the Wall Street Journal. So many people building business today, they're looking for that magic recipe. They're looking for the one-liner. They're looking for that deadly strike to go out there and just captivate the world. And they look to us to create that for them when really all you need to do is look around, look in people's faces, look at what's going on in the world, grab the newspaper, look at the news. If you can stomach it, the information is all right there to go out and build your business. I mean, you grab two headlines from arguably at least a decent newspaper, and both of those headlines really just verify the stuff that you say every single day on this show. So I tip my hat to you for knowing the news before it was printed.
Well, and all we do here is speak the truth. The truth has a certain ring to it, and once you've experienced the truth, you're in its velvet grasp forever. 100,000 youngsters, as well as 300,000 adults, die each year from cardiovascular disorders as a result from sports. This is twice the number of people that die on our nation's highways each year. This from the Centers for Disease Control. 400,000 people a year die because of heart conditions brought on by their participation in sports. And yet we turn deaf, dumb, and blind eye, head, and ear to all of this nonsense because we have become culturally conditioned to believe that the MD is the undisputed king of everything, that the MD has the decoder ring for everything having to do with medical science, and that the MD knows everything that there is to know about everything having to do with medicine. When in point of fact, the MD might be, you're a medical doctor, might be the nicest person in the world. They might work for Doctors Without Borders. They might, work for free. They might feed the homeless and whatever. But they only know what they've been trained in. And what they've been trained in is absolutely horrible in the treatment of chronic disease. Medical doctors, bless their hearts, do not practice health care. They practice disease management. Now, if they practice health care, our health would be getting better. The books would be getting balanced. For goodness sake, if we could eliminate all type 2 diabetes in the United States, if we could eliminate all type 2 diabetes in the United States, we would balance the federal budget in 1 year with the money that we saved. We could balance the federal budget in 1 year from the money that we saved from eliminating type 2 diabetes in the United States. Why aren't we going to do this? Because the pharmaceutical industry does not want to eliminate type 2 diabetes. They make much more money managing it. And because they've been running the show for the last 100 years, the average Joe on the street, the average Jane on the street has no idea of the unbelievable amount of corruption that's gone on here. I mean, this is 100 times worse than the saw bosses of the 1920s. This is 100 times worse than the robber barons of the 1800s. Why is it worse? Because it's right in front of everybody's face and nobody sees it. It's right in front of everybody's face, and nobody sees it. Like Sherlock Holmes said, where's the best place to hide something? In plain sight. This is why I'm so enamored of longevity, because longevity has its eye on change and its eye on a pragmatic solution to our health care and our financial worries. It's pragmatic, it's immediate, and it's a long-range plan. What are we going to do? Are we going to raise money to have more naturopathic medical schools? No. Are we going to raise more money to have more political action campaigns so that we can get more naturopathic medicine licensed and regulated in more states? No. That's going to take way too long. We're going to have to grow generations and generations and generations of people in order to do that. And it's going to be 300 years before we could secure what we could secure in 5 years by growing longevity. Because what does longevity bring to the table? Longevity brings to the table science-based, clinically verified health recovery boilerplate, health recovery protocols. which support and promote the structure and function of the human body in the face of the diagnosis of most chronic diseases. And the compensation plan that Youngevity rolls out, the business opportunity that Youngevity rolls out, affords people for the first time in their lives to break the glass ceiling, to break the shackles of conventional, JOBs, and to actually, for the first time in their lives, stand on their own 2 feet financially. And this is why I'm in. This is what gets me excited about Youngevity every day. And this is why I'm very, very excited to be moving forward with this company. Now, Mike, bring me up to speed, please, because I'm out of the loop a little bit with how the company's been doing in the last quarter. What's going on with Youngevity?
Well, I don't live by all those numbers. I live by what I get from the field, and we've never been in a better position. We've never had more people excited. We've never been breaking more records than we are right now. Of course, we're growing. Are we growing at the pace that we really want to? Heck no. I wish sometimes all it took was a few good men. I wish that sometimes all it took was wonderful products. I wish all it took was a fantastic compensation plan and a beautiful system to build business. What we need more than anything right now is an army of people that give a darn about what's going on, not just here in America, but around the world. We cannot recruit enough people quickly enough to meet your goals, to meet Dr. Wallach's goals. If knowledge was all that it took, we would have taken over the industry. We would have taken over healthcare decades ago, but it takes an army. And, a lot of times people ask me, why Youngevity? Why does Youngevity work so hard when, we could all make a decent living just by being satisfied with the status quo, put our supplements out there in a conventional marketplace, mark them up, 10 times of what they are now. The people would buy them because they get results. But we're not interested in just making a good living. Bad things happen to good people in this world. We've seen it in Colorado in the last week. And why Youngevity? Because when bad things happen to good people, we're going to do something about it. We sent pallets and pallets of water and other nutritional material. I don't know exactly what we sent, but I know it was a truckload up to Colorado, because people are having a hard time. The conventional sense is we drop some sea rations or some plain old ordinary water to folks that have been stranded, that are dealing with contaminated environments because of the flooding. We send stuff in there that actually one can of a product like Rebound or Renew IQ or any of the stuff that we keep in our warehouse. That stuff actually has an impact on people. It helps people. Did we charge? Did we gouge? Did we get worried about the cost of that? No. We have the Youngevity UB to Change Foundation. Our foundation has been raising money like crazy, it's an amazing feeling when bad things happen to good people that you can sit down and stroke a check and have an impact. Can we fix it? Absolutely not. But we can show people that we care. We can show people that there's still good people in this world, and we're doing something about it. And that is the real power behind Youngevity. That's what excites me more than anything. You call it a grassroots coalition. We call it people getting sick and tired of being sick and tired and broke and helpless. So many people around the country, when they see things like this happening, they'll pray, they'll sit and stare at their TV, but wouldn't it be nice to be able to do something about it? And when you plug into Youngevity, not only can you do something about your situation, but just by jumping on board, you can do something about situations all across this country and all around the world.
Feeling warm and fuzzy yet? Ladies and gentlemen, you should be, because this is the kind of people that Youngevity attracts. It's open-minded, progressive people who are taking action every day, not for themselves. Well, yeah, for themselves, but they're doing it through helping other people. This is not a self-serving industry. The wealthier and the healthier you make everybody else in your organization, in your town, in your city, in your county, in your state, in your country, the healthier and the wealthier that you get. And this is the type of people that longevity gravitates to itself. Like attracts like, right? Well, guess what? Longevity is filled with people who are other-centered. Longevity is filled with people who are here to make a difference in the lives of other people in their world. And this is one of the unheralded, wonderful things about longevity, because the longevity members are just an awesome group of people to hang out with. They're progressive. They're forward-thinking. They're optimistic. They're not going to stay, they're not going to stay knocked down. They're going to pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and get on with it. And they're going to help people in their lives to do the same. If you've ever fantasized about, wouldn't it be great if I was back, in World War II, I would have snuck into Germany and I would have shot Hitler right between the eyes. Good thing I wasn't around during slave days, because I would have had a thing or two to save to those slavers. Well, guess what? If you ever had those fantasies, you can make a difference right now in a magnitude much greater than that. Because it's always a small group of people that elicit monumental change in the world. It is always a small group of people. And this is what we're up to with longevity. We're here to change the way that medicine is practiced in the free world, and we're here to break the shackles of financial nonsense that tie people to their credit cards, tie people to their mortgages, tie people to their jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. We'll be back after these words. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, encouraging you to visit my website, fireyourmdnow.com, and become a Dr. Glidden Insider. Sign up for my online health subscription service, where you'll have immediate access to 100-plus hours of archived, real-time, pragmatic health webinars that will actually give you a clue about what you can do right now to actually give your body a chance to recover from chronic diseases. If you're okay just managing things with drugs and surgery, death, then God bless you. It's more or less a free country. We're going to finish out the hour talking to Mike Randolph about the business opportunity with longevity. And then I'll be taking your calls at the top of the next hour. The number to call to speak with me live on the air, 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. And if you're listening to the podcast because you weren't able to check us out live, the number to call for information, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Now, Mike, as you go around the country and participate in different longevity events, you're in the presence of hundreds of people who have recovered their health and hundreds of people who have recovered their wealth. Give the listening audience an honest assessment of what that's like from your point of view.
Well, we're on two crusades here at Longevity. We have a health crusade. We have a wealth crusade. I've read, and I know it's intuitive, everybody knows, the number one cause of, I should say the number one trigger perhaps of spouse abuse and child abuse and unhappy households and divorce. Lack of money really puts extra stress on people. It puts extra stress on the family. We're out to change that part of people's health as well. I know if you're stressed out over finances, you can be an otherwise healthy person, and you're not going to be a very healthy person. You're not going to be healthy to your family. You're not going to be healthy to your loved ones. The testimonies that we see, the people that I know personally that have been completely changed. Single moms that don't have to hand their children off to someone else to go make a living. Families that don't have to have mom and dad both out working and taking on a second job or a third job. You're able to build your longevity business right from the comfort of your own home with your house slippers on if you want. And you can do this without having to plug in to corporate America and into that mindset. And those of you that commute to work every day, One thing that I've noticed, I commute a little bit to come to the office. Of course, I commute when I want to commute. I don't commute with the rest of the commuters headed south. But if you look to your right, look to your left, and look at the faces on the people in those cars that are around you. Do they look happy? Do they look fulfilled in their life? Do you think that on Sunday night that they are looking forward to jumping up out of bed and embracing their cubicle on Monday morning, embracing the boss that certainly doesn't have their best interest in heart? We can change all of that. We're a results-oriented company, not just on the health side, not just with our products, but with our income opportunity as well. We have folks that can make an extra $500 a month, maybe $50 a week. It is amazing what a little extra income can do. I mean, I want our listeners right now to think for just a moment what an extra $500 a month would do to your household. What lifestyle changes could you make? Could you make it to the kids' soccer games and Little League practice and karate school, and can you be there for the school play? Those kinds of things we find are more important than all the multi-million-dollar income earners combined, because the little things in life that we sometimes take for granted can mean the most. I had a gentleman in rural Alabama that took advantage of our opportunity, said, I'm a wealthy man, because if I want to, I can just go out and buy a shirt.
You got to love it, Mike. We're running up against the clock. Longevity offers a cure for the common cold and a cure for the common cubicle. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mike Randolph. Mike, always a pleasure taking your calls when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Fire Your MD Now.